Hey everybody, welcome. We are back. We are live. It is another week of the Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi watch party after show. We switched it up a little bit this week, so we got new people coming in. We have Hannah Wright, who is a brand new person on to MUSE TV, down below. But we'll let everybody introduce themselves and do all the nice pleasantries, starting with, since we got a lady here, let's go ladies first.
All right. Hello, everyone. Yes, I am Hannah Wright. I'm a big Star Wars fan, new to the MUSE TV team, so happy to be here.
And next to my left.
Thank you, Mike, and welcome, Hannah. Once again, I am the J to the E to the double F ray. I am Jeffrey Harris, and welcome to the MUSE TV watch party and after show for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Thank you for joining us, Padawans.
So, we're continuing off of a big episode last week, which was kind of
big episode.
Very big episode. Hannah, did you watch it yet?
I didn't finish it, so I'm just jumping into this new episode. So I started it though. I told Mike I'm a little late, but yes, I don't think I'm gonna miss much. Just jump into this new episode.
It was just the nerdgasm of seeing Vader and Obi-Wan fight.
Well, does that mean we're spoiling it for you, Hannah?
It's okay. Well, I'm here, so
yeah.
I'm okay
I mean, you're gonna have to, I guess, get adjusted to that tonight.
Yeah.
Exactly. But here's the thing: before we go into anything else, how are we going to do these watch parties now that we have two shows that are coming out on Wednesdays now?
Well, we could
because we have
Miss Marvel. We could do Kenobi first, and then we could do Miss Marvel back to back.
We could.
And I've already watched Miss Marvel, so I have that episode covered.
So have I. I saw both episodes already.
And I guess we can say we saw both episodes at this point.
Exactly.
Because I think
review embargo's already lifted, so we could already say.
And you talked to some of the Miss Marvel cast, right, Mike?
Well, yeah. The videos are up.
Yes, the videos.
You can go check them out.
I think Iman Vellani, who plays Kamala Khan, is great in the show.
Oh, so do I. I like the show. It kind of reminds me of a Saved by the Bell type of format.
A little bit of that. Also, kind of it reminds me a bit of Into the Spider-Verse because both Kamala Khan and Miles are like artists, and they're like into. So it kind of has that kind of like artist perspective in it. Sort of how, it's very vivid, dynamic. It's very like you got all this sort of pop graphic art kind of externalized through all the surroundings from Kamala's perspective, which I thought was interesting.
Yeah, it was pretty good. But that one will do.
We'll have to wait.
Yeah, we already got Marvin coming in.
All right, so we got our first. All right, welcome Marvin.
Welcome,
Marvin's always one of our best viewers, so thank you for joining us tonight, Marvin. But yeah, last week was intense. We had a full-on Darth Vader appearance, voiced by James Earl Jones. Confronted Obi-Wan. It did not go well for Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan just barely was able to escape, thanks to help from Tala, played by Indira Varma. Unfortunately, Leia was not able to get to safety, and Leia is now in the clutch of Reva, the third sister of the Inquisitorium. Inquisitorium? Yes. Whatever the best way to call it, the Inquisitorius. So Leia is now Reva's captive. Yeah. So we don't know exactly what Reva will do with Leia, but probably wants to set another trap for Obi-Wan. And we know she's kind of acting on her own. And she is at odds with the other Inquisitors. We know that too.
Yeah. Since Slater is asking, Hannah, can you introduce yourself again? Because Slater's asking.
Yes, hi Slater. So I am new to the MUSE TV team. I'm a new MUSE intern, and I'm kind of this is my first live stream, so I'm getting a feel for everything. So hi, nice to meet you. And I'm a Star Wars fan, but I need to study a little bit more of my stuff. I've seen all the movies, obviously, but yeah, I'm just taking it all in. So I'm here for the conversation.
Yeah. Hannah, it's gonna get nerdy.
What are your thoughts on the show for Ewan McGregor and what we've seen up to now?
What are my thoughts?
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I'm so impressed just because Obi-Wan has always been one of my favorite characters. So the fact when they announced that he was gonna have a show, I was excited because it's like, okay, we never really got Obi-Wan's story overall, so I'm happy with it. And it's Disney Plus. I think that they've done great so far with the Star Wars realm. So I'm loving it.
Okay, I'm about to send you something, Mike, because I have a bit of an axe to grind with all these memes on Twitter. So everyone's complaining about how Ewan McGregor looks at this point in the story after 10 years, and how Sir Alec Guinness looks in Star Wars: A New Hope. So, so this is one example. So look at this. Revenge of the Sith, which is the last time Ewan McGregor played the role of Obi-Wan Kenobi. That movie came out 2005, right?
Right.
Was probably filmed in 2003. They probably finished filming it around that time. So we're talking about the last time he played this character, so was like 19 years ago.
Right.
So Ewan McGregor is 51 now. It's in real time. It's 10 years later. And in 9 years, he's going to be 60 years old. So if this, at this point in the story, if this is 9 years before A New Hope, he's going to be just a little bit younger than Alec Guinness was when he filmed Star Wars: A New Hope. And at the end of the day, they're two different actors. No matter what you do, he is never going to look exactly like Sir Alec Guinness. So memes like this just really annoy me, and they make no sense. Like, Ewan McGregor, he's 51. He looks good for his age. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, like what? Yeah, right. Sure. What are they supposed to do? Are they supposed to put him under piles of prosthetics and makeup? No, and plus, it's still 9 years. People can age a lot in 9 years too. You know,
you should see some of the people I went to high school with. They look like,
yeah,
they look like old Obi-Wan.
Yeah, so all this is really dumb and annoying to me. That people are complaining about, because this isn't the first time I've seen nonsense like this. Yeah. It's happening a lot. It's been happening a lot. And not only that, I believe basically Kenobi is 50. His actual age is like 58 years old in the storyline, but the actor was like older. So getting all huffy about, oh, look at how good Ewan McGregor looks right now in real life when he's 51, and 9 years from now he's basically going to be the same age as Sir. Like, no, like move on from this. It's dumb to complain about this at this point. But what do you think, Mike?
Oh yeah, I think it's dumb. I don't get, like, people get upset over anything, it seems like nowadays, and I don't know. It to me, it's just not even worth talking about because it's just so dumb. Wait, how old is Kenobi right now in the show?
Jeffrey? He's probably about 40. He's probably about 48, 49, basically. So a little bit younger than what Ewan McGregor actually is right now.
Cool.
And he's been living on Tatooine for 10 years.
Let's go back to some of these. Do you think that we'll have another fight in this episode? I don't
Probably
think so.
not with Vader.
No.
I think we'll see another fight maybe later, like maybe in the penultimate episode or in the finale, if we see another fight.
Marvin, I want to see Kenobi use the Force. I also want to see Qui-Gon Jinn in ghost form.
Well, we've already seen him use the Force, haven't we?
Yeah, once. Not more than just... It was just to save Leia.
Was that the only time?
That's the only time I could remember.
Mm-hmm.
Slater, Slater, do you guys think we will see the Grand Inquisitor come back?
That's the big question right now, because if that was the same Grand Inquisitor from Star Wars Rebels, he should not be dead at this point, and that's a big issue for me. I don't know how they care to explain that, but I hope they explain that.
So
it's definitely an issue for me.
So is the Grand Inquisitor from this series and Rebels the same person?
If they're not, there was no point in making him look like the same person.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'll.
Could it be the same species but a different person?
It would make no sense. It would make no sense. Like that would like why? If you're trying to, it only adds to the confusion if you're doing that.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know why you would do, because we've only known this character as the Grand Inquisitor. Like they haven't given him a real name.
Yeah.
So I don't know, because to me, if you're trying to keep like a canon between them, it makes no sense. Because I'll give you a comparison photo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
so here's live action animation. If they're supposed to be two different characters, they did not set then I don't understand what they're doing here. Mm-hmm. If they're supposed to be two different characters. But if he's dead, if he is genuinely dead, I still have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
To me, they're clearly meant to be the same character. What do you think?
I don't know.
Hannah off?
No, her computer had died. She's charging it up and logging back in soon.
I hope we didn't scare Hannah off. Please come back, Hannah.
No, I don't think it's gotten nerdy enough to scare anybody off.
Okay, yet. So what do you guys think? Like, why would you make these two different characters?
I want to see what the people in the comments are thinking. Even though I can't. Can you read the comments? Because I can't, since I'm sharing the screen.
Okay, so the Grand Inquisitor are definitely the same. Right, because like Vader basically said it's a title, it's not a name. Because Reva appears to be aiming, like she wants to step over all the other Inquisitors to become the new Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah,
and she impaled the other Grand Inquisitor. So let's see. The Grand Inquisitor are definitely the same. Slater said should have made him look different. Marco, it is the same, just the Obi-Wan version is different, plus he might come back. I think they are the same. He has to come back, right? Mm-hmm. Says Marvin. Slater, I thought the GI kills himself, the Grand Inquisitor kills himself because he is scared of Vader. That's what happened in Rebels, but that's years from when this is happening. So I'm all mixed up here, and I don't know what exactly they're going for right now.
I don't know either, and that's the thing I'm kind of curious about. Like,
it's confusing. It's undeniably confusing.
If they bring in a new Grand Inquisitor, but it doesn't make any sense. Why would they bring in a new Grand Inquisitor now? And I'm hoping.
Well, if it was a different one, he shouldn't look similar. Mm-hmm. He shouldn't look similar in live action to the animated version. If they're meant to be different characters, but
this is my.
You don't know what they did here.
And this is my thing. If it's going to be two different characters, leave this one dead. and see the other one in Rebels. Don't bring a new.
What he's his he's his twin brother, his identical cousin. Like what is the deal?
It could be another same species, different person.
That.
I mean, there has
why,
to be.
But why? Why would you do that?
In order to bring, they're gonna have to do something.
That's bad. That's bad writing. That's bad storytelling.
Do something in order to keep the continuity in the canon.
Well, I mean, what they would have to do is he somehow survived that attack by Reva. Is what they would have to do.
And if they did, maybe they did the robot thing and fixed them up, patched them up.
You mean the modification?
Yeah, the modifications.
Because Fennec Sham was like near death, and they gave her the mods.
Yeah,
and apparently that's the case for. That's the implication for Cobb Vanth too.
Yeah. I really hope they stick to the Rebel storyline. I don't like having a different Grand Inquisitor.
Oh, we got a new viewer here, Brown Snake Studios. Brown Snake, it is not started yet. It'll probably start in about 35 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
But you can stay here and chat with us until it starts. And Mike, why don't you explain for Brown Snake, since he's new here, how we like to do the watch party and after show.
Okay, so here's what we do. As soon as the show comes on, which is usually around 11:50, we will do what Jeffrey did and turn off our cameras, turn off our mics, and we'll all watch the show. As soon as the show is over, we come back, we have an open discussion about episode 4, and we talk about this episode and really share our thoughts, and for about 30 minutes to about 40, depending on how the conversation's going. And that's the way we do our watch parties. We are hoping soon, since Apple is fixing their technology when it comes to watch parties, and to be able to do it a little bit better and to keep it cleaner, we're going to be able to eventually be able to do a watch party within an account. I believe you could do it now on Disney Plus. We're still learning. It's been a little wonky, to say, but hopefully in the future we'll be able to bring it in a little bit more to be more encompassing, and that's the way it works.
Okay, Ultron. I'm fine with 2 different, but they better not butcher him coming back and make it confusing. Ultron, the Grand Inquisitor should come back though. If it's the same character, yes, he should not be dead at this point.
Yeah.
Why would he look the same if they are different? I mean, that's what I'm saying, Marvin.
What if they have them longer head on the other one?
Because that's the animated character model, and that's like all the characters look different compared to their animated models. Like Ahsoka looks very different from her animated model.
What about
her head, like her head parts, the Leku?
What about from Revenge of the Sith?
What about what?
That same species.
I mean, that's on the makeup department, really.
Yeah. It feels like they are just trying to build up Reva's character. That's from Marco.
Well, she's one of, even though Vader's there, she's like one of the central antagonists, basically. So they're clear. Yeah, they are building her up. She's an important character. And the implication is that she was one of the younglings from the purging of the Jedi Temple that we saw at the very start of the series.
Yeah.
My girlfriend is watching this live stream with me tonight. She said, y'all are great. Well, thank you, Marvin, and thank you, Marvin's girlfriend. I hope you sound really cool. So thank you.
Yeah. Also, that would be bad writing if it's 2 different characters.
Thank you, Marvin. Marvin's on point tonight.
Slater Spider, wait. So is Reva the new Grand Inquisitor? I don't think she is.
No. That seems to be what she wants. Other than maybe getting revenge on Kenobi.
Yeah.
For some reason, she wants to be the Grand Inquisitor.
Yeah.
I mean, she did try to kill the Grand Inquisitor if he's not dead.
Yeah. Yeah. So Hannah's going to be jumping back in soon. Unfortunately, her computer died. So
okay.
we'll be back with her.
We're waiting for you, Hannah. So hopefully we'll get you back on and we'll be able to chat with you again.
Exactly. Ultron, it's not that hard to adopt animation to live action. We need Rebel Grand Inquisitor.
I'm personally not happy with how the Grand Inquisitor looks in this show compared to the one from Revenge of the Sith, which is the same species, yeah. And his look in Rebels. But I'm not, I'm not the director, I'm not the concept artist, I'm not the makeup artist, so it's not my call.
Yeah. And this will make you happy, Jeffrey. This comment.
Well, thank you, Marvin's girlfriend. I go Astros.
How are they doing this season, Jeffrey?
They're doing great, and they're going to win another World Series.
Are they?
Yeah.
Shoot, I haven't followed baseball that much, which is kind of sad. That's kind of a rare occasion that I'm not following baseball as much as this season.
Let's see.
Get the stats out. Let's see. What are they doing?
34-18 right now. 6-5-4.
Oh, not bad. Marvin. So is Han the leader now? Who him and Reva seem to hate each other.
So fifth brother.
Mm-hmm.
Fifth brother seems to be I guess Vader's in charge of all of them.
Yeah.
Because they all answer to Vader. But I guess Vader has made the fifth brother in command now that they think Grand Inquisitor is dead. Unless he is dead, but I guess.
Yeah.
That's
on
Sun Kang from the Fast series, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. So I don't know.
Justice for Han. How about that?
I think that's over now because he's alive.
Well, that was I'm sorry, but that was a load of nonsense.
Yeah. And Slater agrees with me. I don't like the Astros. Go Dodgers.
Hey, Slater. Dodgers suck. We beat the Dodgers in the World Series.
Let's not go there.
I'll go there all day long. I don't care. You think I care?
No, you don't care. Ultron, we have only seen Reva and Vader talk, though not the other Inquisitors with Vader, right?
Yeah, but they were escorting him. What was the planet? Mapuzo?
Yeah, I think it was. And also, where is Reva taking Leia? I think she's taking Leia to Vader.
I don't think she's gonna take. I don't think she's gonna take him to Vader outright. No.
I think
somewhere else, and I think she's gonna try to get Kenobi and capture Kenobi. She's going to use Leia to draw out Kenobi, to make Kenobi her prisoner, to either try to kill him or bring him to Vader.
Yeah.
Where's Reva taking Leia? We don't know yet.
Yeah. Excited for the Dodgers to win another World Series. Slater?
We'll see Slater.
If injuries are always the issue, it depends on injuries, and
we'll probably have more stuff later in the year. Who knows?
Exactly. Marvin, can we all agree little Leia is a great actor? Some people were hating on her, but I think she is great. I think she's a great Leia for her age. I think she's for her age. Yeah, I think she's really good.
The only thing I didn't like was the goofy little chase scenes. It was like they were playing freeze tag.
Yeah.
The actor, I think, for a child actor, I think she's all right.
Yeah, I
mean, she does a good job.
Yeah.
She's doing a good job.
Yeah, she is. Slater Aspire, I was wondering why Vader didn't just go through fire to kill Kenobi.
Why didn't Vader stop Luke from falling down the pit on Cloud City? I mean, why doesn't this happen? Why doesn't that happen?
Well, with that one, it's torture.
Why did Vader cut Luke's hand off? Why didn't he try talking?
He needed another hand. For what? I don't know.
The hand fell. The hand fell down the thing too.
The hand fell down the well. Well, oh well, oh well. No, but I think it's this time it's a torture. Like he wants
to make it long and painful for Kenobi.
Yeah.
He wants to do to him what he wants to deliver the pain on Kenobi that Kenobi did to him, basically. And he wants to take his time and make it hurt as long as possible.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science.
Exactly.
Let's see what else we have here. I was wondering why Vader didn't just go through the fire to kill Kenobi. Maybe Vader's scared of fire. Maybe the fire was too powerful for Vader to extinguish and to.
Wouldn't you get scared of fire after being burnt to pretty much?
I mean, he does live on the planet where he got charred to a crisp. Same planet, I think.
Yeah.
When Vader snapped those innocent people's neck, I was like, "Wow, he is menacing." Yeah, he was pretty menacing last episode. It was really intense.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was expecting we would probably see Vader after they brought him on, at that sort of last scene in episode 2, but they really delivered a lot of Vader that episode.
They really did. Let me
let's see.
Where are we at here with the comments?
When Vader
snapped.
Slater,
laugh out loud. Vader will get bested by Kenobi. No,
assumedly so. Because now, because like that was like round 1, so assumedly round 2, like Obi-Wan will have to rebuild himself. Maybe he somehow finds contact with Qui-Gon Jinn, and he's able to unlock some secret power to get the better. I think he will confront Vader again, and I think he will maybe not defeat him, but he will get the better of him in their next confrontation, is what I would expect from a storytelling perspective.
Yeah.
That's just like storytelling 101.
That would be cool to see some flashbacks of Kenobi and Anakin or something like that. Marvin said that, gave that comment. Slater.
That would be interesting if we see some flashbacks of young Kenobi and Anakin, since they have both actors. And it would be, don't you think it would kind of be a waste of hiring Hayden Christensen to never do some like
out of costume work,
some non-Vader work, to actually have them interacting as a younger Kenobi and Anakin in flashback scenes.
Yeah. Slater the Spider, do we scare away Hannah or with our nerd talking?
I hope not.
No, she had computer issues, but she'll be on after the episode airs. She'll come back for the after episode discussions.
I was worried we were just getting too deep in the minutia.
No, yeah, I got a message from her. So
okay. Well, we want you back on, Hannah, whenever you can.
Yeah.
We want you to join the show. She's in the chat.
She's in the comment watching through probably phone or something.
Okay.
So,
well, thanks for keeping us updated, Hannah. We hope you enjoy, and we'll have you back in here soon.
Yeah, because the fans are asking, so that's why we need to make sure.
The fans like you too, Hannah.
Exactly.
Vader's downfall is his attack. That's not really his downfall. That's his redemption. That's his saving grace.
Yes, exactly, Jeffrey. I want to see Anakin out of the helmet.
More like I want to see, like, not like a whole episode, but maybe we could get a couple scenes showing them in their like younger, happier days.
Yep. Slater the Spider, Hannah, you are awesome. And Marvin, do we know where Kenobi will flee to?
Well, he probably can't get far with his burns.
Yeah. So
Tala will probably have to treat his burns a little bit.
Are we going to see a flashback in a back to tank?
that would be that's kind of the go-to thing, isn't it? Because that was kind of like that's how they used the flashbacks for Book of Boba Fett.
Mm-hmm.
Was the back to tank. So maybe this episode he'll be healing, Obi-Wan's healing in the back to tank and has some flashbacks or dreams. Mm-hmm. Or maybe he talks to Qui-Gon.
Yeah.
I feel like he's gonna have to talk to Qui-Gon at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, there is no point in referencing that.
Yeah. So we're gonna check. We are 20 minutes out from the episode dropping, hopefully at 11:50.
Yeah. Yeah, it's usually 11:50 Pacific time when the episode drops.
So it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting to see how this is gonna work out with Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel dropping at the same.
Now, one thing I think was maybe a valid complaint. We didn't see a lot of aliens in costumes in the first episode. Yeah. And I generally think the first episode did not look really as good as the second two. Mm-hmm. So I kind of wonder what the budget is for a show like this. Mm-hmm. And I wonder if they have to be frugal about where they spend the budget. If they have to. I wonder, because it really looks like in the first episode they cut a lot of corners. Yeah. So I wonder if, okay, this episode won't look as good, but that's because we really need these next two to look really amazing, Yeah.
Slater the Spider, I think this episode will give us more context.
Well, what do you mean context about what, Slater? Yeah. Let us know.
Marvin Zeke, I think the lightsaber fight was a tad weak.
Well, I mean, look. Kenobi was rusty. He was outmatched, and that was the idea. It was to show a fully at the height of his powers Darth Vader, and a Kenobi who has been skulking around Tatooine and been in a deep depression for 10 years, and he hasn't been training. He hasn't been fighting, and he hasn't been really using his force abilities because he's trying to keep a low profile. So it made sense that he was highly overmatched. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that was the point. It wasn't supposed to be like a knockdown, drag out, back and forth brawl. It was supposed to be like a fully powerful Sith Lord outmatching I guess a rusty older Obi-Wan.
Yeah. And Marvin, has Kenobi not used the Force for 10 years, right? We don't know that yet. We don't know if he
probably not. He probably tried to. I imagine he probably tried to reach out to Qui-Gon, and then he just he couldn't make contact with him for some reason. Yeah. So I imagine he tried for a little while, but it looks like, I wouldn't say 10 years, but it's probably been a while before he got his lightsaber out.
Also, I loved hearing the Quinlan reference. Would be cool to see him live action.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it would be cool.
And I wonder if Quinlan is still alive at this point. Mm-hmm. They kind of hinted at him still being alive.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
It's going to be an interesting episode. I think this one's going to really determine what the next two are going to be like.
But I did like that he threw that in there, like that he knows Quinlan. He has a relationship with him. Quinlan is out there and he's still fighting the good fight. Mm-hmm. Like the rebellion doesn't even really exist yet. If it does, it's in its it's really in its it's like in its seed mode. It's in its absolute infancy. Yeah. Maybe even, it's embryonic at this point. Let's say that. So that would mean like Quinlan, it was like one of the earliest, I guess, adopters, or I guess one of the earliest resistance fighters for the Rebel Alliance.
Yeah. Slater the Spider, I wonder what other Jedi will we see in this series? I don't know.
We know Ahsoka would be active at this point. Because Ahsoka is alive. Mm-hmm. and Ahsoka did become fulcrum.
Yeah.
So, and Ahsoka does have her own show coming up, and they've already cast Ahsoka. So it would not be outside the realm of possibility for Ahsoka to appear.
Yeah. Ultron, how much of Vader do you think we will see?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't really say.
That's a good question because I think you would agree, Mike. Last week we got a lot more Vader than we probably expected, don't you think?
I agree. I agree.
Like I was not expecting Vader to actually come to Mapuzo himself and actually fight Obi-Wan. I just figured we'd see him in the throne room and we'd see him talking to the Inquisitors a couple times, but he actually went there himself and went after Obi-Wan himself and fought with Obi-Wan. So I don't know. I don't know at this point. We've gotten a lot more than what I expected.
Yeah. Marvin, also the Jedi tunnels were pretty cool to see. Yeah, those were cool. It was
the safe house was cool.
Yeah, the safe house. Say Spire, imagine Ahsoka, that would be so cool.
Ahsoka would make sense because again, Ahsoka is alive, she's active, and Ahsoka always believes in helping others, and Ahsoka was fulcrum, and Ahsoka was one of the earliest members of the early Rebel Alliance. She basically helped form the Rebel Alliance, so it would make sense if Obi-Wan ran into her. I thought last week we got too much Vader, in my opinion. I don't know if I would agree with that, Slater, but I guess we'll see. I guess it depends how much they really expect to use Vader. Do you think too much Vader would be just fan service, Mike?
It may be. If it fits into the story, great, but it may be. You have to really
was what we got last week was what we got, like what I think Slater is saying, was it bordering on fan service last week?
No, last week no. I played into the story and the hunt of Obi-Wan. And of course, they have to set up how Vader is feeling towards Obi-Wan.
That said, to have Vader as a thing in the show, at least we got like it was a big deal. It wasn't like what they did with Kingpin and Hawkeye, where it was like so unceremonious and it was just not built up well at all. Exactly. They at least built up his appearance very well.
Marvin, during this time in the timeline, does most of the galaxy fear Vader? Is he famously known?
Well, that's a good question.
That's a good.
I'm sure some people know, because Kenobi didn't know anything about him.
Yeah, he didn't know at all.
Kenobi thought Anakin was dead, and he was on Tatooine, which is the Outer Rim, and he didn't even seem to know much about Vader or what the Empire was doing at all.
Yeah, exactly. Where are we at here? It's hard to balance a deep character with a lot of lore like Vader. You just got to balance him out.
Yeah, I agree. It is a tough balancing act, but I think last episode was really good. We'll see what they do. We're at the halfway point. This is the halfway point up to now. Yeah. So we'll see what they do with him for the rest of the series.
Yeah, they haven't reached too much fan service yet, but I don't want them to give too much. He is something that they should give out a little. He is that type of character.
That's a valid concern. It's a valid concern.
Yeah, and Marvin, that is a good point about Kenobi. Did not know him really. So there you go. When we were going to Jedi's, other Jedi's showing up, what do you think of Cal Kestis showing up in an episode in this episode?
Oh, Cal Kestis, that's right.
Because he is alive during this time.
I feel like at this point Cal is in hiding.
Yeah.
Because this is something I'm going to look up.
Because there was something that the actor was saying that he's doing some work, but I don't know if it's for this or for or he did something for Andor.
14. Okay, so I guess it depends on is Cal even alive right now?
Mhm.
Is he alive? Because Fallen Order was set 5 years after Revenge of the Sith.
Mhm.
So not really sure.
Yeah. And then with the new, I don't know where the new game lands.
Survivor, yeah. We don't know. We have only seen the first trailer. We don't know all the details of the story and when exactly it takes
Yeah.
place. So I guess it's possible Cal could appear. I guess I'm not 100% sure when Fallen Order takes place
Mhm.
and when Cal Kestis is doing his thing and when Jedi Survivor takes place.
Yeah.
So it'll depend on that and Fallen Order 2.
Yeah.
Star Wars Jedi Survivor. It's not Fallen Order 2. They're calling it Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Mhm.
So they may I don't think they're going to want to interfere with the games too much.
Yeah.
Just because the games may have plans that could, where it wouldn't make sense for them to interact yet.
Yeah.
A character like Quinlan Vos showing up makes more sense, Mike, because we've barely even seen him before. We've hardly even seen this character.
Yeah.
And we know, so this could be like the first point of reference to like introduce Quinlan Vos to the fandom and the audience.
Yeah. So that would be so cool to see Cal on screen.
It would.
I think we will one day see him on screen. I just don't know about with Obi-Wan, or will it be something else?
Is Cameron Monaghan, he's 28 years old. So he's still young, he's still pretty young, and he looks exactly like his character. So it would be an easy role to adapt.
Exactly.
To
And he
live
was
action.
dressed like Cal walking around Disneyland for Star Wars After Dark.
He's a nice guy. I met him at when he did a Return of Superman animated movie at Piesse Center. He's a nice guy. He's like
really cool guy.
Class act. He's a fan just like us.
Mhm.
I hope big things happen for him because he seems like a good guy, and he's got a good head on his shoulder. He says and does the right things. He doesn't get into trouble. He just seems like a nice dude. So I hope good things will happen for him.
Marvin, we need Quinlan.
I mean, I really hope we do see Quinlan at some point, know?
And I think it would be a great explanation from a different Jedi's point of view of what's going on during this time.
I agree. It would be nice. I hope that's not a throwaway reference. Because I'm sure a lot of fans have wanted to see more of Quinlan Vos for a while. He's, because he's talked about, he's had stories, but he's never really been in had a really big role or a really prominent role. So it would be cool.
Yeah. Slater, also Star Wars Celebration looked amazing. So lucky you all went. It was really cool. And it makes me want to go like this. For me, this is my third celebration. And everyone has been awesome. And I kind of feel like going to Europe for next year's, but I'm not sure yet if that's going to be possible.
Star Wars Celebration, they did a good show this year. I would probably rather go to Star Wars Celebration in July than what they're doing for Comic-Con.
Yeah. Marvin, I feel like they could fit Cal into the series. Such an awesome character.
They probably could. I guess it just depends on Cameron Monaghan's schedule. Where this lines up with Fallen Order and Survivor, and how they could fit things in. Because look, already we're concerned about what's going on with the Grand Inquisitor, and that should be not something we should be worried about.
Yeah.
Who would you rather see, Cal or Ahsoka or Quinlan? I guess Quinlan, because we've never seen Quinlan in live action before, and he's sort of like Quinlan is kind of like that untapped resource. So there's novelty there. We've seen Ahsoka. Ahsoka is getting her own show. We've seen her in live action and animation. Now, from a storyline perspective, it probably makes more sense to see Ahsoka, because Ahsoka has a closer connection to Obi-Wan and Anakin, and Ahsoka was Anakin's Padawan.
Yeah,
definitely Ahsoka.
And Ultron Cal, I want to see.
Cal. I mean, this is the fun part about fans is we have these things we want to see. We talk about it and we can enjoy it together, and we can talk about it. Like I'm sure for like 20, 30 years, all of us wanted to see like a Boba Fett series or something, and it took many years, but we finally got one.
Marvin, did you see
Boba Fett's own story?
Yeah, did you see Ewan McGregor at Star Wars Celebration? I saw him on stage. I didn't see him like close up.
You saw Pedro close up.
Well, I saw Diego Luna close up.
And Pedro Pascal.
Yeah. Yeah.
It would be a young Ahsoka. Well, younger than when we last saw her. So I guess she'd be in her mid-20s at this point.
Yeah.
How old is? Because she's, I think, 14 when we meet her in Clone Wars. So,
and in the show, Ahsoka, she's around 43. At least that's what she said during the panel.
So she's a similar age to Rosario Dawson now.
Yeah.
So Ahsoka would be a little younger here. She would have to be younger, but look, Rosario Dawson's a beautiful woman. She could do it.
Yeah, I'm right. I've met her. She is very beautiful.
She is stunning.
Yeah, I was like.
However, at any age, at any age, she is stunning.
Yeah, and I'm like, damn, Cory Booker. So
are they still going? Wait, are they still going out?
I don't know, but if they are, I would give them a high five right off the bat. So.
We're probably a couple minutes away, so we're getting down there. So just remember, once the new episode comes on, we're gonna turn things off. But once you're all done watching the episode, come right back, and we're gonna start with the after party portion of the show.
Marvin will have the episode in 1 minute, 11:48.
Yeah, somehow
Marvin always gets the episode before we do. Yeah, that special force power.
Apparently, Rosario Dawson and Booker split up.
Oh, sure.
They split up. They split up earlier this year. They were a cute couple. I'm sad.
So what you're telling me, there's a chance. Just kidding.
I mean, shoot your shot, young man. Shoot your shot.
Why not? What do I have to lose?
What do you have to lose, right? I mean, don't let me stop you.
Pride, overrated. So there you go. Oh, boy.
I mean,
well, like I always say, if she's watching, if she winds up going around seeing what's going on, if she's watching the show, she's always welcome to come and be a part of the show. Anybody from the cast is welcome to be a part of the show.
I mean, you're more likely to interview Rosario than that. Said, I did talk to Rosario. Man, this was 7 years ago for the Daredevil press junket, and which I actually went to.
Marvin's got it.
Of course, Marvin has it first for some reason. So let me check.
Take a look. Yeah, okay. I still got it. Nothing.
Okay, so we're probably seconds away.
Yeah. Almost time. See you all later. Definitely, Marvin.
You enjoy yourself, Marvin.
Exactly. We have to wait a couple more minutes. Well, I see.
Not really a couple.
Yeah.
It'll be here soon.
So we
all right, but like so we're gonna mute for a little bit. We're gonna watch the episode, and then we'll come back and we'll start the after party.
Yeah.
All right. So so it should be in now.
Episode's
There
up.
we go.
Here we go.
Short one this week.
Yep. So we'll see you after the show. Okay, I am back. We will be waiting for Jeffrey to come back, but while we're waiting, we'll go down to the comments, of course. Marvin, that was a great episode. Such a cool episode. I agree. Very good episode. We'll be waiting for Jeffrey to come in so we can start the discussion, and Hannah as well, so she said she would be coming in. Jeffrey's probably taking a little longer. What a short episode. I'm mad. TJ, it was short. It was a short episode, but it did what it needed to do to me for me. I don't know about, we'll wait, see what everybody else thinks, but yeah, it was a short episode. I wish I would have seen more, but it leaves you waiting for next week. Marvin, I love that water scene with the Force. That was a good scene. Really enjoyed it. Really like that. The way he was holding up the water.
Maxie Big the Force. Well, that's no stinkawit.
Here we go. Since you didn't see the comments before we come in, Marvin, that was a great episode.
All right.
Later, such a cool episode. TJ, what a short episode. I'm mad. Marvin, I love the water scene with the Force. Explain episode was a W. TJ, what a short episode. I'm mad. Oh, we have a little delay on the water scene with the Force.
Oh gosh. Okay.
I was like, cool.
All right.
Explain the back to tank scene.
Welcome back, Hannah.
Thank you. I'm sorry this is my first live stream. I'm sorry, everybody. I'm getting the hang of it, but
you'll get there. You'll get there.
Exactly.
Thank you. Happy to be back.
Well, it was a shorter episode, but it was like all action from start to finish.
Exactly.
We didn't get a lot of Vader, only a little bit of Darth Vader, but Mike, you were right. You were right on about the back to tank. No flashbacks though.
No flashback. So definitely right about the back to tank. Can you explain the back to tank scene?
Oh, I think it's just him kind of sort of like, I guess it's meant to mirror Darth Vader, right?
Yeah.
Did we lose Hannah again?
Okay.
Hannah, I thought you were about to get disconnected again.
Yeah.
Well, I'm here.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what are your thoughts, Hannah? We want to hear from you. We haven't heard enough from you tonight.
Oh, thank you. Well, first of all, I'm just like a little Leia stan because I think that she's awesome, and I'm getting so much Padme vibes from her and just her little attitude. And I love when she was being, super strong willpower. I love that scene when she was getting interrogated and she wasn't going to break for anybody. And I love the O'Shea Jackson, seeing a little bit of O'Shea Jackson. The name was Roop. I loved seeing more O'Shea Jackson, but Lil Leia,
I'm going to check on that for you.
Yeah. He did an interview recently and Roken, that's the name.
Roken.
And he didn't talk a lot about the character, so I was happy to see the character. But Lil Leia's awesome. And then when I saw the tomb,
that was creepy.
Oh, that was creepy.
Oof.
Yeah. I wanted to get y'all's thoughts on that.
To see them like
in amber and related to another movie,
like because in the last episode we're like, what do they do with the force sensitive children and things like that? So they either probably become inquisitors or they get whatever they're entombed in that substance. I don't know what you would call that, but just like seeing those children and those people. I don't know who all those characters were, but it was really creepy. It was unsettling.
Exactly. And to get back to TJ's question about the back to tank scene, I think they were both communicating to each other, but we don't know what they were saying to each other, because it seemed like Vader was very still and strong, where with Obi-Wan, he was getting flashbacks of things.
I don't think it was meant to be like communication. I think it was just sort of because Kenobi just got burned. He's healing in the back to tank, and Vader rests in the back to tank to survive, because he was so horribly disfigured. Yeah. I think it's just sort of meant, Kenobi's sort of wounds is meant to mirror Vader. Like his condition is mirroring Vader, and he's connecting with him on an emotional, mental level, there's a spiritual connection there.
Yeah.
Like they're at like this, it's a spiritual conflict between them. Yeah. And their states now in that scene, their states mirrored one another.
Marvin, I love how scared they all are of Vader. Yeah. So we'll go through that. Let's go through the comments and we'll talk some more.
I like we didn't like they didn't use too much Vader this episode. Like they only used a little bit, so they didn't overuse Vader this episode, which is probably good. Yeah. Because if we're going to be getting more Vader in the last two episodes, you don't want to overdo it.
Yeah. Ultron Reva got owned at this episode. Little Leia is so good. Marvin, wait, so was Reva lying? Did she actually track them?
Yes.
Yes.
Unfortunately, like when she was messing with Lola in the interrogation room, that's when she put the tracker on her. And then when you see Lola light up at the very end, that's the Imperial tracker. So
yeah. Also, yes.
Poor Lola. Poor Lola.
Also, yes, Hannah. Crazy.
Wow. I just didn't expect that with the tombs. I didn't think that we'd get that now, if that makes sense. So
and that's just bad karma. That's just bad mojo to put all those, to entomb all those innocent victims like where the Inquisitors are. That's just like, that's so awful,
Did we see any familiar Jedi in the tombs? Did you recognize anybody, Jeffrey? I thought I saw.
I don't want to commit. I thought. Well, Plo Koon died in Revenge of the Sith, so
yeah,
he got like shot out of the sky. So it wouldn't have made sense that his body was still intact and in that tomb. So maybe it was the same race as Plo Koon.
Yeah,
I'm just trying. But man, Indira Varma, I've been a big fan of hers for a long time. Have any of you ever seen Luther?
Yes, I saw Luther.
That's like where I became a fan of hers, and she is great in this show. Like, because she's like a true turncoat. She was an Imperial officer, and she just wasn't. She turned on them because she had a moral conflict. Her conscience got the better of her.
Yeah,
and I just like that so much.
Yeah, exactly. Slater the Spider. So what happens now since they can track them? Some speculation here. Let's start with Hannah. What do you think happens now? now after being tracked?
I don't know. It seemed too easy. I'll be honest with you. They're obviously, I think they're gonna find their location, but I feel like there's gonna be a turn in there somewhere. It's not gonna be that easy for them to but I just thought it was too easy. Like I kind of, because they were talking about Lola, the droid, I was like, okay, that's where the tracker's going to be. So that's what I felt. But I don't know. I don't know if it's gonna be that easy for them to find them, or there's gonna be a turn somewhere. I just don't know what it will be. That's my feeling.
They don't seem to know they're being tracked and that there's a tracker on Lola. So I'm hoping somehow Obi-Wan will become aware of it and use the tracker to draw the Inquisitors and the Imperials away from what do we call these folks? They're not really like the Rebel Alliance. We can't really call them the Resistance, maybe Resistance fighters.
What were they referencing them as?
The Path?
The Path?
Was that so I guess the Path. So we'll call them the Path. My hope is that Obi-Wan will discover the tracker on Lola and use the tracker to draw the Imperials and the Inquisitors away from the Path, the Resistance fighters.
Yeah. Here's my thought. I think that's going to happen because it's leading up to Reva getting and Vader a turn for the worst for Reva, and it's not going to be good.
See, because we can't have like the Path get taken down at this point when it's still, this is like the embryonic stage of the Rebel Alliance. So we can't really, they have to make it through somehow, and we have to see it we have to see the spark grow into a fire, so to speak.
Yeah. Marvin, yeah, I agree, Jeffrey. I think Kenobi will find the tracker, then set a trap. Ultron, I wanted to see Vader kill one of the Inquisitors. I think it's coming, Ultron. I think we just have to wait a couple episodes.
And where's the Grand Inquisitor? That's what I want to know.
And Marvin, what planet are they going to?
Who?
Obi-Wan and
at the beginning, Tala said they're on Jabim. So she took him to some place called Jabim. I don't know if that's a city or a different planet.
Yeah.
She does have her own ship, so
yeah.
The Path is not necessarily the same, or she did have her own ship.
No.
No, but it's like that. But the Rebel Alliance started as like sort of, they were kind of a disparate, disorganized group of dissidents and like insurgents, and then they eventually organized and became the Rebel Alliance.
Yeah. So it's going to be an interesting episode 5. That's all I could say. That's going to lead in, like, here's the downward path to the end.
This was like a quick and dirty episode. We have to go in, get Leia, get out. That's what this episode was really about. Like Leia was taken captive. We have to save her before anything bad happens to her. So it was just a really quick. It was a short episode, though, I gotta say.
It was a short episode. It was very quick. Marvin, the water scene where Kenobi used the Force was awesome. Yeah, that's the one thing. It seems like he's getting his Force abilities back. He may not be at 100%, but he's like
I feel by the end of the show, his abilities will be maybe not 100%, but he will be close back to 100%, and he will get the better of Vader, maybe not defeat Vader, but get the better of him, and he will return to Tatooine to watch over Luke, because that's where he has to be by the end of this. And I think he will eventually make contact with Qui-Gon.
Yeah. And I think it's going to be at the end of the episode. We'll see Qui-Gon at the end. Slater the Spider, they did a good job balancing this episode. Tala was awesome.
I love Tala. She's like one of my favorite new characters in this.
Ultron, I don't want them to rush the big fight scene. I don't think we're going to see them fight till episode 6. I don't think we're going to see Obi-Wan and Vader go at it again till the last episode. Your thoughts? You guys' thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen again until the last one.
Hannah?
Yeah, I agree. I feel like because that's what we're waiting for. So, and it's kind of going to leave us at that point. I'm looking forward to it. So this was a good episode, though. I feel like it did what needed to be done. Like
it was kind of creepy when she was putting Leia in that chair. I was sort of scared what was gonna.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, were they planning to torture her, or were they planning to entomb her?
Don't know.
That's a good question.
That's a good, very good question on that one. I don't.
Was that like was that an interrogation chair, or? I hope the character I'm looking at now in the tomb is not Quinlan Voss. I don't think it is, but because he doesn't have the markings on his face.
Mm-hmm.
So but kind of reminds me of Quinlan Voss. So I hope they just didn't unceremoniously kill Quinlan Voss off screen before we ever saw him.
Yeah. The one thing I gotta say though, from the Marvel series to the Star Wars series, this is probably the best short episode out of what I've seen so far.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Because the one that was in WandaVision, when this all first started, seemed like so disorganized and not connected, and left you left you more questioning than figuring this out. Whereas this one seems to answer a lot of questions for me and push the story along smoothly.
One thing I do want to say, I do think Moses Ingram, I think her performance was better in this episode as Reva. Not that I disliked her before, but I felt like she was a bit more. I feel like she seemed a bit more comfortable in the role this time, more convincing.
I'm
not. And look, I'm not saying I dislike the character or the actress or anything. I don't know. Just things about the first episode were like a little off to me, just a little rough around the edges. And I definitely think the first episode was like the weakest one.
Yeah. Hannah, what were you going to say?
I agree with the performance just because I don't know. I feel like the characters, they're coming into it's all flowing, if that makes sense. So I see what you're saying. I was looking at the comments too here. Will we see young Luke in this at all?
Well, we already saw him in the first episode.
That is true.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we will see him again. Yes.
Yeah. Do you? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was Quinlan, but I have no idea who I really have no idea who any of those characters were supposed to be, other than one of them was a Jedi youngling. Now,
Reva will die in the end. She is making Vader more and more mad.
My favorite moment though in this episode was when Obi-Wan takes out that floating secret droid with the lightsaber, because I don't think we've ever seen that before.
Mm-hmm.
In Empire Strikes Back, Han Solo and Chewie take it out with their blasters. So I'm like, I always wanted to just like swat one of those things out of the sky with a lightsaber, and I'm glad we finally got to see Obi-Wan do that. Yeah. I wonder if the writers of Deborah Chow ever thought about like, man, I just want to like swat one of those things out of like an annoying fly, just swat it. I love that Obi-Wan got to do that.
Here's something like I'll repeat again what Ultron said. Do y'all think Reva will die in the end? She's making Vader more and more mad. I think so.
Yes.
She will.
I guess it depends on what they want to do with the character and if they would do another season of this. Yeah. I think it'd be tough to do it. I think it'd be tough to do another season, though, don't you?
They're already in talks that supposedly that up season 2 is possible. And it
says who, Mike?
Ewan McGregor said it. That it
When did he say that?
Like in the last week.
Well, I mean, of course, the guy wants to get paid.
Well, yeah,
he's got alimony. He's got a new wife. He's got what?
No, I didn't even know he was. Oh yeah,
he's married to He and Mary Elizabeth Winstead got married.
Exactly. Okay.
He's got to get
the money.
He's got to get that. He's got to get that fat cash, man. He's got to get that sweet money. The money. The lettuce. The dough.
If there is going to be
dollars.
If there is going to be a
dollar bills,
it ain't going to be for a while.
Probably.
If there is going to be a season 2, it ain't going to be for like 2 years.
If Reva makes it out of this season, I'll be surprised.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do think there will be a big like reveal for this character, and we're gonna find out a big chunk of her backstory and how she escaped the Jedi Temple at the beginning and what made her an Inquisitor. I think there's gonna be a big turning point or reveal with her character before the end. I do really like this Inquisitor base. I think this is a great set. Yeah. Definitely one of the better sets this season.
Actually...
It looks like they built it all out. Like it looks huge.
Yeah.
They did a really good job.
Exactly. I want to see some flashbacks of Anakin and Obi. That lightsaber scene when it went dark and Obi came out with the blue lightsaber.
That was good.
Yeah, that was good. I agree with you, Marvin.
Just because I like this base set because it looks big, and like the spaces are like really big and wide open. Like it doesn't look like really squashed and claustrophobic.
Yeah, I want to see a flashback of Reva.
I think we will.
Reva's actually growing on me. I mean, I think the whole series is starting to really, after a slow start on episode 1, it is really ramped up every single episode afterwards. It's really, really good. So for episode 5, what are we expecting? What do you want to see for episode 5? Let's go around the horn. We'll start with Jeffrey first on this one.
Well, I want to see Leia reunited with her family. I think Obi-Wan has to be smart enough to figure out that the tracking device is on Lola. He gets the tracking device and he makes himself like the decoy, the bait to save the path, to save the resistance fighters, to protect Leia and make sure Leia goes home safely. And I want to see like Obi-Wan have a moment where he has like some introspection, because like I feel like they've been building up how like Obi-Wan is like not the fighter and not the warrior he once was. He's not the Jedi he once was. So he needs to maybe not train, but he needs to like find some sort of moment of introspection, of catharsis, where he sort of forgives. He has to forgive himself and sort of find acceptance. I want him to find some acceptance in the next episode.
So you want a Rocky IV Hearts on Fire type of moment with Obi-Wan?
Is that the
training sequence?
The training in the snow? Maybe not quite like that, but that'd be cool. That'd be cool, actually. You know,
Hannah.
I'm kind of more thinking like a kind of Arnold Schwarzenegger Predator in the jungle, like putting on like, you know, setting up the traps and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Hannah, what do you think?
That moment of I don't know. I really like. I'm getting all these different thoughts. I mean, that's why it's good to have these discussions to unpack these elements. I definitely want flashbacks because I feel like that's what I'm personally missing. And like Marvin said it best.
Mhm.
I feel like that'd be great, and especially before we get to these final episodes. So that's personally what I'm looking forward to, and I think it's gonna happen. And it'd be great with Reva, especially after this last episode. So yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah. I don't, to be honest, in the next episode, I'm hoping there will be flashbacks because it needs to set up what's going to come out at the end for the season finale for episode 6. I want to see, I don't think Leia is going to be reunited with Bail Organa until the end, and her family till episode 6. So I think that's going to be a lot of moving forward and a lot of progression. But and I think Vader, we're gonna see Vader like this, like in this episode, a very tiny bit next episode, and we're gonna see more of him in episode 6. That's my predictions. Marvin, this episode was an 8 out of 10 for me, very solid.
Okay.
We have one person who did not like
Wow.
it, so Odo Johnson.
Well, tell us why, Odo. That's
solid 4 out of 10.
4 out of 10.
Damn. My episode rating was 9 out of 10.
I give this one an 8 out of 10.
No excuse for a filler episode for a 6-episode series.
I can make excuses.
Well, and trust me, we've heard a couple from other shows in the Marvel side. Not with Hawkeye.
Ultron. Well, I mean, look, we got a lot of action this episode. We got to see more of the Inquisitor's base.
Mm-hmm.
We got to see more of the Resistance fighters, more of sort of the early beginnings of the Rebel Alliance. We got to meet Rockin. So we know that there are people out there who are resisting the Empire and working to undermine them and to help people who are persecuted by the Empire. And that there's a whole network that they're tracking, and they're like, the Empire is aware of them and they're trying to uncover them. So that's also important. So to me, it's more than just filler. I'm sorry.
Ultron episode rating was an 8.5 out of 10. Cool seeing Obi-Wan with his lightsaber. I can easily make excuses for this filler episode.
Thank Parson.
This episode was needed.
Yeah, sure.
They're focusing too much on Reva instead of Kenobi. I think they have to.
Oh my God.
Enough.
You're in the wrong. You're barking up the wrong tree there, Odo John.
I think it's a good balance because Reva is really the villain, like the villain.
Odo John's son, maybe a couple other channels, I won't say their names, might be more your speed for this, for what you're trying to get at across here.
Marvin, please don't plus you don't have filler episodes in a 6-episode series.
I mean, it wasn't because like Leia was taken. He's there. The show has been about saving Leia. Leia got taken to the base. He went there to get her. And was it kind of short? Yeah, I would have liked to have seen a longer episode. And maybe while Obi-Wan was healing in the bacta tank, we could have seen him have some memories of Anakin. That's the only thing I would have changed about this. To me, that could have made this, instead of an 8 out of 10, it could have made this a 9 out of 10.
Marvin, that I guess, but also I think that it will lead up to something big for Reva, like a flashback.
I said from the beginning, Reva was one of the girls at the temple, who the adult Jedi was defending that group of youngling students. And then the students at the end of that scene, they survived, but they're by themselves. So I think Reva was one of those children. Hannah, what do you think about that theory? Because that's been my theory since the first episode.
Yeah, and I think that would make sense, especially because Reva said something in today's episode referencing her childhood. I don't know if that's
she was trying to, when she was talking to Leia, she was talking about her childhood.
Yeah,
she was trying to manipulate Leia.
Right, but you still saw that like pain in a way. Like she's manipulating, but then she's self-reflecting at the same time. So I think because we're getting all these, I don't know, hints in a way from Reva, especially her interaction with Leia, this would probably be the time where we'd see the flashback. They're leading up to that. So I that would make sense to me.
I had a droid when I was younger. It was taken from me, like everything else. So she was she was telling the truth there.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think some of those children from the Jedi Temple were probably brainwashed and turned into Inquisitors or Imperials.
Yeah. Slater the Spider, this episode was great. One of the most informative episodes. Ultron, what is this dude talking about? Filler episode. It was short and easy, made sense. They needed to save Leia. Here we come. We'll save Marvin's rating thing for the end. Oh yeah, Reva is definitely a youngling. I hope that's not the twist in the end.
I mean, to me, it's not really a twist because they set it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like I figure, like to me, like okay, there was a group of kids. Reva was one of those kids.
Yeah. Marvin, I like Reva's storyline. If they choose to go with that, she will have intense hatred for Jedi because of brainwashing.
Not just because of brainwashing, but probably my feeling is she has blame for them for not protecting them, and maybe Obi-Wan she feels Obi-Wan abandoned her, but maybe like brainwashing as well. Yeah.
So we come up to Marvin's questions after we could round this out. It's already 12:54. So let's round it out. What is your all rating? Mike, Jeffrey, and Hannah. Let's start with Hannah first. Your rating.
8.5. Not quite a 9, but 8.5. That's what I'm going with.
Jeffrey.
This episode was an 8 out of 10 to me. It was kind of short. I would have maybe liked a little more character work with Obi-Wan and Anakin. I think we got just enough Vader just to like see like, yes, Vader is there. He's a part of the show. There was a lot of action and suspense, and it was all well done. The sets look good. The visuals look good. The direction was good. So I think, to me, the first episode was almost like a 6 out of 10, but everything has gotten gradually better. Episode 3 was the high point so far, but this was like an 8 out of 10 for me. Like last week was like a 9 out of 10. This was an 8 out of 10.
And me, I'm going to go with an 8.25 because I agree with both of your points. And I can't yet go to a 5 yet because of I think the only reason I can't go to that 0.5 is the length. I wish there was just where I agree with Jeffrey on this is a little bit more in the back to tank to see what was going on and make a little more reference to it. Would have got that point to a 0.5, but 8.25 for me. Let me answer Slater the Spiders. Mike, you mentioned you think the big fight will be the episode finale and not in 5. I agree, but can you talk on that more? Because I think they're gonna. Here's the reason why I think this, and it's gonna be on 5, is because of the fact that they need to build it up, and that fight will be what episode 6 will be. The end, the closure, the end of the book, and which separates it for. If they decide to go with the season 2, then they do a season 2. Maybe it will be with different characters or anything like that. But with this Vader thing, I think it's going to be that culmination. And if they don't do a season 2, it's a good way to end it for what we see in A New Hope. Marvin, my girlfriend, said 7 out of 10. She said they escaped too easy. That could be
They have a tracking device.
Yeah.
They literally, do they have to spell it out for you? That was the one way Reva got Vader to spare. Vader was ready to kill her off, but like, no, we got a tracking device. We will let them go and lead them back to the underground network. That's the point.
The only reason I could go with Marvin's girlfriend about this is because of the way she doesn't tell Vader what the hell's going on until she's friggin' being force choked.
Marvin's girlfriend, I still like you because you're an Astros fan, even though you're wrong. Yeah. I'm gonna go with you just because you're an Astros fan.
But I could see that. I could see that opinion. But overall, great episode. Professor Nunez, hello there.
Professor.
Do you ever hear the tragedy of Darth Plagueis the Wise? Yeah, blah, blah, blah. I don't know where we're going with that. But
that was Palpatine's.
Yeah, exactly. Palpatine.
Master.
Slayer the Spider. Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, I think episode 2 will be the big fight.
Yeah, next episode is going to be Hearts on Fire. Yeah. And then episode 6 will be Drago versus Rocky.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Exactly.
Hearts on Fire.
We
okay. We got Professor. I thought not. It's not a story. All right, Professor, if you have something productive to share.
But Ultron, good night, guys. Another great watch party. See you next week. Vader gonna go crazy in the big fight. Yeah, definitely. But before it's 12:59 a.m. to close everything out, let's go around the horn to see how could everybody follow you, find you, and everything like that. Let's start with Jeffrey here.
Follow me on Twitter at Wheeljack83. Check out my reviews and interviews at 411mania.com. My latest review is David Cronenberg's new film, Crimes of the Future. My review this week will be Jurassic World Dominion, coming out Friday.
Awesome. Hannah?
That's awesome. Yes, thank you all for having me. Again, this was my first live stream, but I really enjoyed it. I've never done anything like this, but I do media. You could follow me on Instagram at Miss Hannah W. Pretty straightforward, but I'm looking forward to doing more of this. But I'm a reporter. That's what I focus on.
Hannah, let's have you back next week. We can do it again.
That'd be great. Now I know what to expect. So I enjoyed it.
And you know me, I always throw everybody who starts into the fire. It's the best way to learn.
Yeah, I agree.
And we have good viewers.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, exactly. Let me get to some comments. Slater the Spider, nice to meet you, Hannah. Welcome to the Muse family.
Yay.
Also, Jeffrey, to your review on Jurassic World. Great show this week. So for me, we got a lot of work to do this week. We got a lot of great interviews. If you want to see, we do talk with Cronenberg about his new film at CinemaCon, so you could take a look at that video. We have a lot of new videos coming up this week. We are going to do some stuff next week with Lightyear. So a lot of we did interview the director of Lightyear and the producer of Lightyear. So those videos are up. We're going to recycle those interviews for next week since it opens up next week. My review of Jurassic World, well, not going to give it now. There you go. And I'll talk more about it later this week. And as for Miss Marvel, since it started today as well, we're going to try and possibly do something. Hopefully we could do it either Wednesday or Thursday. Maybe we could do a watch party then for Miss Marvel and and then we could catch up later after Obi-Wan is done and go back to our regularly scheduled time with Miss Marvel.
I have a good feeling about Miss Marvel so far, though. I think it's going to be better than Moon Knight.
Yeah, I already could say that one. I'm not a big, everybody already knows, especially here on this forum, I am not a big fan of Moon Knight and the way it went. But Marvin's so excited for Lightyear. Yes. And also too, episode 5, our next show is already set up and ready to go. You could put on the notifications there. So after you get notified, click that bell. So after you can get notified when we go live. It's going to be 11 p.m. Pacific time, 2 a.m. Eastern time as always. And also too, the one thing we could definitely ask for is that with super thanks and super chats, any way you could help out. We did have some issues this morning with a little hacking incident with the website. So it's been a little it's been wonky, and we're gonna have to put some money into the website to rebuild it because there is some things that kind of got messed up. So any of your super thanks, any super chats really do help, and really do help us fix up a lot of these things, because we are not we're an independent website and an independent news site, so you know how that goes. But to end it on a positive note, we'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel here on MUSE TV. It'll be Mike, Jeffrey, and Hannah back for another episode. So have a great week, and we'll see you next. Well, hopefully we'll see if we do Miss Marvel panel. But we'll see you next week here for the Obi-Wan watch party and after show.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.